All right. Time to bring up our last company who's been actively tweeting about the excitement of being up on stage. This is Syntellia from San Francisco, going to be talking about Flexi, is that how I say that? Keyboard technology to type without looking at the screen, which is one of the big things. We have 5 minutes right here. At 30 seconds, I'll stand up. It starts when you begin.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. People typing on your laptops, people typing on your smartphones. My name is Costa, and I have a question for you, for all of you here in the audience. Let's say you have a long email to type. Who here prefers to type it in the comfort of your laptop keyboard rather than your phone? Please raise your hands. Well, that's pretty much all of you out there. Now, what if I told you the keyboard on your phone was so powerful that you could type without even looking at the screen? It's hard to believe, and that's why it took us years to build Flexi. But we've done it, and here it is.
Introducing a revolutionary keyboard technology, period.
Thank you. And now, my co-founder, Yanni, is going to take it from here.
Thanks. So we feel we've found the real solution to typing on a touchscreen, and it's the first time we've done that, and also without asking the users to learn anything new. We have zero learning curve with the technology. So we feel we have the solution to typing, which will provide a huge differentiator between different smartphones, and it is also going to be the thing that is going to make all of you here in the audience who are using a laptop switch that to a tablet. So something that many people don't know is that the current touchscreen device that you're using probably already comes with a licensed keyboard from a provider. One of our competitors, Swipe, is one of the biggest players in that market. That company was sold to Nuance for $100 million recently, and that's on the back of quite low adoption. It's a technology that is very interesting, but still hasn't been widely adopted. We have tried really hard from the beginning to create a technology that doesn't require you to change the way you type, so it's more universal, yet it does provide the real solution to typing and error rates that are similar to a laptop rather than a touchscreen. Now, how do we make money from this? We have essentially two routes. The first one is working with hardware partners to embed our technology into their devices. We are in advanced talks with some of the leading players here. We're expecting to make some announcements pretty soon. And then we have software partnerships. So we believe that there are a number of applications that have heavy text input, such as note-taking applications, instant messaging, email clients, etc. We actually announced an SDK here at South by Southwest yesterday. Overnight, we have been approached by a number of such applications, some with millions of users interested to embed our technology into their applications. And we continue to innovate. So we see the problem of text input in mobile devices generally continuing, even in post-touch technologies such as Google Glass or wearable gadgets. I'm going to show you a video at the end of the presentation of an example that we've built using the LIP technology. In terms of traction, we launched on iOS in the App Store in August 2012. We've recently surpassed 200,000 downloads. Quarter-on-quarter growth in the last quarter, we had 50,000, so 150,000 in the next quarter. We see incredible reviews and incredible user feedback. So people like our technology. It's being adopted. It's being used. If you look at the reviews, many people ask for Flexi to be the default keyboard. In fact, most of the reviews ask that. We launched our Android closed beta in January, and we've had 20,000 registrations since January for the beta. And the numbers keep growing, and adoption is also very strong. So this is the graph of downloads, and the red graph there is updates of the app. So we see that people are using Flexi and updating it. The team, my co-founder Kostas, who you saw earlier, has done, this is his fourth startup. The last one was acquired by Google. He's had some successes in the App Store. I have management consulting and business-to-business background, which is very useful for what we're doing. And we've hired the top engineers that we can find. Team of 8 in total, with some really good advisors on board as well. And I'm going to finish with a video that shows really using our technology with the LIP controller, which is typing on 3-dimensional space, something we just released yesterday as a preview here at South by Southwest.
end of our 5 minutes. Thank you.
Thanks.
This is actually the 5 years we've never had a swap out in the middle of a presentation either. So,
Yes.
Bob, start us off.
Does your customer thinking that they should use Siri instead of typing, or they're going to use Flexkey instead?
So, can you still hear me? Yeah. So we see voice dictation as an interesting area of technology, and it's been around for some time. And nowadays, most smartphones come with some kind of voice dictation technology embedded. Most people tend to use that for really short messages, things like be right back, be there in 10 minutes, things like that. Most people, when they want to write a longer email, still prefer to type it. A combination, we feel, of both lack of accuracy in most voice dictation technologies out there right now, but also the fact that it comes unnatural to speak to a phone. In some environments, it's noisy. And so we see that it's going to be a long while before a smartphone or a tablet ships without a keyboard and just with voice dictation.
I think a hurdle you may have is I can't imagine what it's like to use your product. I don't know where the keys are, and yet I'm typing on this flat surface. I don't get it.
So we actually don't try to change anything. We're mostly showing off the power of our keyboard here. You can look into the keyboard. You can look at the keyboard is a QWERTY layout. What we're trying to bring is the comfort that you have when you type on your laptop. So
you're a touch typist. You don't have to look at the keyboard you personally.
You can do either. I am personally.
So when you looked up like this, you were relying on your touch typing.
Correct. We're trying to leverage people's muscle memory, but the nice thing is we can cover the whole spectrum. So even if you haven't used a touchscreen before, you can just pick it up and go immediately, and we can later on expose more and more of that power to you. So you decide how often you want to look and pay attention at the screen, or maybe you can look at the application. You don't have to be looking elsewhere.
Thank you.
Let's kick it down to John. Let's start down here.
Let's just talk about business model. So what's your relationship to the OEMs? Are you going to do this? Are you going to build your own direct relationship with consumers, or are you going to try to license to OEMs?
We're planning to license this technology to OEMs. We started that process in January at CES, where we also won a CES award this year. And we have advanced conversations with different OEMs right now under NDA, basically to license our technology and embed it into their phones. So OEMs sometimes provide to the users a choice of keyboards right now. On the Android market, some of them do that. Some of them decide to install a different default keyboard than the stock one, and there are different conversations we're having for different kind of models to embed.
And we generally see a lot of friction for people to first find out that they can change the keyboard on their device, so let alone download and install it and configure it. So we really feel that in order to remove that friction, the keyboard, which is such a critical component of the system, should be bundled into the device when you acquire it.
So you're willing to do it on a white label basis, or will it be branded Flexi?
One thing that we can provide, one benefit that we can provide is because we maintain the same QWERTY layout, the same tap typing paradigm that people already know, we can essentially, at one end, embed our technology as a back end to the manufacturer's default keyboard. We can customize it to make it look how it wants. Ultimately, we would like, just like T9 did, if you remember, with the feature phones from some years ago, we would like to be the engine that powers advanced text input in those devices. And whether it looks like what you've seen on the screen today, or whether it looks how a manufacturer may want to customize it, that's down to the OEM at the end.
Dave.
Okay. I think I must be leaking brain cells today or something. I honestly, I'm sort of with Bob. I don't quite understand what we're talking. Did I miss a picture of what you're actually doing? I mean, what is this? Is it a tactile keyboard? Is it a QWERTY layout? Am I drawing pictures with my finger? How do I do this?
So it's a normal QWERTY layout. It's just exactly like your phone's QWERTY keyboard is. The difference that we have from what your phone's keyboard currently has is that even if you miss every single letter, in fact, even if you miss the whole keyboard area and type off the keyboard altogether, we have an autocorrect engine that is powerful enough to pick up those mistakes and maintain very high levels of accuracy, even if you make very grave mistakes.
Would it be correct to say that rather than doing spell check with your autocorrect, you're doing natural language processing and say this sentence would have made sense with your autocorrect?
So yes, so a lot of autocorrect systems in the market right now are doing spell check. We combine that with natural language processing, pattern recognition, a lot of techniques that we've designed specifically for the touchscreen environment, where the mistakes you make are different than a hardware keyboard. So a lot of the technologies that are in the market right now derive from research done for hardware keyboards back in the 90s for Microsoft Word, etc. So we've done something specifically for the touchscreen.
And just to give you an example of how powerful that approach is, we have thousands of blind users right now using it every day to type as fast as you and I can type on those devices.
So, okay, so let me try again. So I think I understand now. So it's effectively a software overlay or interceptor that takes what you're typing on an existing keyboard, whatever it happens to be, and is using appropriate software heuristics to figure out what you meant to be typing as opposed to what you actually were typing.
Absolutely. So that's the engine at the background, and we have a user interface that basically provides the keyboard interface that you would use, which yes.
Does that learn for individual use?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Does that adjust on an individual basis because we might mean different things or have different speech patterns?
Yes. So it learns from the user as you type. One thing we've tried to do really hard is that we provide a better baseline experience from the moment you get the device from the shop. So rather than create a technology that takes a month to train, which some technologies do, ours learns from the user, but the demo that we do here is basically with the default without having trained it to type that particular sentence.
Can I just ask one nerdy
Yeah.
question? So
We got 4 minutes. You ask as many as you need
on your
to.
roadmap, will you have haptic sensors feedback for people, for blind people too, or do you think that this is enough? Should we give them vibration or some sort of sensory indication that they're actually typing?
We do what other keyboards do. So, for example, some stock keyboards right now, when you press different buttons, they vibrate slightly. Then, obviously, you see the corrections as you type them. So all of these things come exactly like they do on your standard keyboard. So think of it just as your standard phone's keyboard, but if you type and make lots of mistakes, as you do when you type fast, ours picks them up and corrects them, unlike most others.
But just to be clear, haptic feedback is absolutely not necessary.
Okay. And this all happens locally, right?
Yes.
Okay. And who on the team, does anyone on your team have experience selling or cutting deals with OEMs?
We haven't got team-level experience specifically of licensing with OEMs. I've got business-to-business sales experience generically. We have some very good advisors on board who have these connections. We've also, to be fair, been approached by OEMs with interest to license our technology. So in terms of lead generation, we're way ahead there. Of course, it takes a process.
You want to do it right, though, right? So.
It takes a process to do these deals, yeah.
And I don't think you mentioned how much money have you raised or any money raised yet?
No, we didn't mention we've raised 900,000 in November of last year, a seed funding round.
Okay.
Bob,
So-
you look best. Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
sorry. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, so you could go out and hire that guy who knows how to get the best deal with the OEMs. You have money to pay them, right? You have money to pay the OEM
You have
guy
money
now.
to pay to hire
Yeah.
that person.
Yes, we can of course hire that person. Yes.
Hire them now.
Bob, you look like you're about to ask something.
This sounds like the first time I heard the mouse explained. And people say, well, I don't understand how moving around over here does anything over there. So it's interesting, in your presentation, you did not succeed in telling us all what your product actually does. You didn't leave us with that impression. I have a hunch, though, that if I picked up a phone enabled with Flexi, I would like it a lot.
So, like Arthur C. Clarke once said, very good technology is indistinguishable from magic. So we think, just like it was hard for people to understand the mouse, it might be something that's hard to believe initially, but essentially we just let you type and have a constant flow, and it's like we put a little person in the phone that tries to figure out exactly what you meant.
David. So following up on Bob's point, and as on the heading of constructive advice over here, I think this might have been a lot easier for us to understand if your presentation consisted of three things. One, just a picture, an image of the keyboard, and showing where the finger landed as I was trying to type, hello, my name is, whatever, Accelerator,
Yeah,
right?
and seeing the lag
and then
time in
showing
between.
what would happen if where I actually typed it would be all misspelled, and then doing exactly the same thing with the same overlay, the same buttons, but this time with Apple's built-in correction, so it would be a better, my name is David, whatever it is, and then the third time overlaying with the exact same thing, showing how you get it all clean.
We'd love to show you. Actually, we like to do a live demo. We think that because a lot of people, when they see this, they think, right, yeah, that's good in theory, but it doesn't really work. So we've been told that we should do a live demo, but it's hard to connect the phone to do a live demo. In fact, we weren't allowed to.
So can I download the demo app right now?
You can, if you have an iPhone, you can download it. It's called Flexi.
Yeah, I registered, so
It's
let
free,
me in.
so-
Let me into your Android beta.
Live demos are always bad with technology. We got 30 seconds left. Anybody down there? Because I have one. How do you keep somebody else from doing? Like, what is the thing that keeps other people from doing the same thing?
We have 6 patents filed, covering both the engine and the user interface. Also, we continue to innovate, and we believe that ultimately we'll build an IP portfolio and expertise that will make somebody more inclined to license our technology than trying to reinvent the wheel.
Awesome. And with that, we are out of time.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you guys very much. Thank you. Thank you.